Hi guys, my name is Don't Mind Me and you can call me Nari, and today we're going to read Lost in Peru, a true survival story. Julian Cope, Lost in Peru. Who is Julian Cope? What was LANSA Flight 508? Chapter 1, Leaving on a Jet Plane. Julian Cope was born in 1954. She's German, but she was born in Lima. Lima is in Peru. She moved to the Amazon rainforest in Peru at age 14. Her parents set up a research station there. She wanted to be like her parents. There were scientists. Some scientists studied the natural world. She stayed with them for 2 years. She became a jungle child. Then she moved back to Lima. Her mother went with her. Cope graduated from high school. Graduate means to finish school. She wanted to stay for her celebration. Her mother wanted to fly back to the rainforest. Her father was there. They wanted to be together as a family. The Copes studied animals. They were experts in birds. Spotlight biography. Hans Wilhelm Cope was Julian Cope's father. He was a famous animal scientist. He mainly studied birds and reptiles. He wrote a famous book about life forms. He was born in 1914. He was born in Germany. He got a doctorate in natural sciences. He moved to a rainforest in Peru. He and his wife, Maria, studied wildlife there. They founded a research station. They called it Panguana. Panguana is a native bird. The station was built on stilts. The area was a hotspot of biodiversity. This means they were able to study a lot of different things. We know a lot about this area because of the Copes. The rest of the Amazon rainforest is still a mystery. After the crash, he was very sad. He left Peru. He moved back to Germany. He died in 2000. Cope begged her mother. She wanted to stay a little longer. Her mother agreed. They would take a late flight. They would fly on Christmas Eve. The airport was packed. They were on LANSA Flight 508. Their flight was 7 hours late. Cope and her mother finally got on the plane. Cope's father was going to meet them. There were 86 passengers on the plane. Passengers are people who fly on planes. There were 6 members of the crew. Crew means workers. That was a total of 92 people. Everything was fine for the first 25 minutes. Airports can be very crowded around holidays. Chapter 2, Struck by Lightning. What happened to Cope's flight? What happened to Cope? There was a bad storm. The plane bounced up and down. Things fell. Things were thrown around. People cried. People screamed. Cope held her mother's hand. Cope's mother said, "That is the end. It's all over." Those were the last words Cope heard from her. Lightning hit the plane. The gas tank blew up. The wings fell off. The plane broke. It broke in the air. It crashed into the rainforest in Peru. The plane fell 10,000 feet, 3,148 meters. Cope was trapped in her seat. She flipped head over heels. She passed out. She crashed through the canopy. The canopy is the treetops. She landed on the ground. She woke up the next day. Her collarbone was broken. Her right arm had a cut. Her right eye was swollen shut. Her knee was torn. Her legs had deep cuts. She thinks the seat saved her life, she said. It must have turned and buffered the crash. Buffer means to protect against. The seat was like a shield. It gave her padding. The seats and the side of her helped too. They served as a parachute. Parachutes are like umbrellas. This slowed her fall. The storm winds and leafy trees gave her a soft landing. Explained by science. Scientists crashed the plane. They did it on purpose. They did this in April 27, 2012. They did it in Mexico. They wanted to study plane crashes. They put cameras on plane. They put crash test dummies in it. Crash test dummies are life-size models of people. Scientists crashed the plane into the ground. They filmed it. It fell at a rate of 1,500 feet. 457 meters per minute. The plane hit at 140 miles, 225 kilometers per hour. It broke into several parts. They found out several things. Passengers at the front are the most at risk. Passengers seated by the wings would have injuries, but they were likely to survive. Passengers at the back were the safest. Seatbelts saved people's lives, so does bracing for impact. This means hunching over toward the seat in front of you. Cope shouted for her mother. She looked for her. She couldn't find her. Her mother had been sitting next to her. She was gone. Cope looked for others. She didn't find anyone near her. She was alone. The crash happened on December 24, 1971. Cope was the only survivor. She was 19 years old. 17 years old, I mean. After the crash, Cope heard planes. She couldn't see them. The planes couldn't see her. The trees were too thick. She had to get into an open area. She needed to get saved. I'm going to read chapter 3 next time.